So it's a beautiful Friday afternoon in spring. I've got the 51 frame out on a set of Dakota wheels in the front and a set of Jeep wheels in the back because the lugs don't match. I haven't put the Dakota axle under the rear yet. We're going to put the body on. The plan for the weekend is to eventually get it back in that space, but the plan's going to be to get the 51 body, put it on the frame, and locate. The primary reason is to locate where our engine mounts need to be relocated to. And while the body's on there, I also plan on pulling that axle, test fitting the Dakota axle to see for clearance issues. If I can't use that Dakota axle, I'm going to go back to plan A, which is probably a Jeep rear axle, and send the front hubs off to Moser to be welded and re-drilled into a 5 on 4.5 and get rid of those Dakota lug pattern. So let's see how far we make it. See, today's Friday. I got this evening and tomorrow. Well, I just couldn't quit moving. So it's Friday night. Decided not to wait till tomorrow morning. I thought about it, but man, I got so close I just want to keep moving. So I took the back wheels off, laid down some little 1x4s, and kind of using those almost like train track rails to roll those rear drums up under the car. That way I don't have to jack the body up so high. So we got a little farther to go. I have to move my jack stands around a little bit until I can get all the way up under it. But slow going, but if I can finish tonight, leaves tomorrow for something else to do. Well, this evening went a lot better than expected. I've got the body back on the chassis. So tomorrow we can hopefully start fitting the engine. I can put the engine in there and start getting an idea of where I need to locate those engine mounts. They should, by my calculations, rough calculations, they need to move back about 8 to 10 inches. So that'll be tomorrow. So sometimes you get going, you just can't stop. So that's a good thing. A little bit of progress made today is less work I need to do tomorrow. So I started putting the engine in and made a rookie mistake. I forgot the rear of the transmission is open, and so I started dumping fluid all over the floor. So I don't have a seal, so I'm just going to put a plug. So I'm just going to keep that pan in the way or underneath there as I move it backwards. I've got the engine sitting in the original engine mounts on the Dakota frame, and you can see I checked back here. I can move back probably about 8.5 inches, maybe 8 inches, depending on how. I don't want that wiring harness to be contacting the firewall. I'll probably move that if I needed to. I did some measurements of the original engine. It was 31 inches from the back of the block to the front of the fan. Estimating placement, that means the front of the original fan would come to right about where the front of that alternator is. And so I need to move the engine back at least 6 inches if that's the case. I think my plans, I think, is going to be to move it back 7.5 to 8. But before I move anything, I decided I'm going to try to fit the front clip back on and get an idea of what I need to do. That's probably going to be fun, putting that back on essentially by myself. But if I can convince my kids to help me, that's what I'm going to do. Otherwise, it'll have to happen another day. Let's see what happens. So I decided to use the engine hoist to get the front end on, and as you can see, I didn't get it very far. I'm going to have to do some trimming inside. The original inline 6 was a lot narrower, and those fender wells need to be trimmed. Also, the Dakota engine in that Dakota clip sits offset to the passenger side a few inches. So you can see it's tight in there, and this we're looking at the passenger side inner fender now. It's still got to move over to the left side, to the driver's side, about 4 inches, and it's already touching. So what I'm going to do, let's get around to this side as well. And this side has to come this way about 4 inches, because you can see it sitting on top of the power steering pump. So what I'm probably going to do is come up along in here, cut most of this fender well out, and then probably come down somewhere in there. But first we're going to move the engine back, or go ahead and locate that engine, which this front end still needs to move to the rear 5 inches. And I didn't bring my tape measure with me, but I've already measured, which will put this radiator support back right about where this pulley is. And you can see that's not going to work very well if the radiator's sitting where those pulleys are. So the engine's going to be pushed back. As I said, we've got plenty of room to do that. I'm going to move it back, what did I say before, 7, 8 inches. Whatever I can do to give about I'm gonna guess about 1/2 inch clearance at the back for the wiring harness so that it's not rubbing anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop this video here because it's just gonna be a lot of slow progress to get those engine mounts relocated, and we'll pick up the video when I get to that point. Finish up today or the next couple of evenings doing a lot of measuring. Thanks for watching.